Hey guys, I'm Shirshadai. I want to talk to you about weaving or light attack weaving in the Elder Scrolls Online. What it is, why it's important, how to get started doing it, how to get better at it, and the add-ons that will help you along the way. Global cooldowns in Elder Scrolls Online are 1 second long. This means that no matter how fast you push a button, skills can only be cast every 1 second. Light attack weaving allows you to cast a light attack before using a skill, which will increase the amount of damage you can do. Light attacks are also how damage dealers generate ultimate in-game. Light attacks are going to be responsible for between 20 to 25% of the damage that you deal in combat. The more light attacks you have between your skills, the more damage you're going to do. The way that you get started light attack weaving is to set your own rhythm. DPS is not a race because we're limited by the global cooldown, but it's all about finding a rhythm as close to the global cooldown as possible. But when you're first starting out with the process, it's actually the most important to make sure that your light attacks are actually going off. So you would come to a combat dummy of any kind, and you'll light attack, and then you'll press a skill. And then you'll light attack, and you'll press a skill. This seems really slow, and to be honest, the speed is not what matters right now. What matters is that you're casting the light attack before you push the skill. And what you want to do is get to where you can push that light attack very close to where you activate that skill. So you click and you cast a spell, and you click and you cast a spell. And you want to get that to be pretty close together, whether it's a proc or a channel skill. The objective is to get used to the casting of a light attack before you activate the skill. And once you get to the point where you're doing that, then you can start looking at trying to do that same rhythm on the global cooldown. The add-ons that are really going to be important for this process are combat metrics, which is the first add-on we looked at. You get to it by typing /CMX. It's going to show you the damage that you're dealing. It's going to show you percentages of what all your skills are. So it's going to show you how much of your damage is dealt by light attacks. But what we're really looking for is found here in the Info tab. You're looking to see if any of these spaces that show your skills has a miss. You see this is says weaving error. The number of times a skill activation wasn't followed by a weapon attack or vice versa. So that means if up here by your light attack, it says that you have 1. It means that you light attacked twice without casting a skill, or that you missed a skill. If the number next to one of your skills has a number, that means you missed a light attack before casting the skill. So this is going to tell you, regardless of how slow or fast your attacks are, it's going to show how many times you missed that light attack. So what you want to do first is make these numbers all be 0 in your practice. And then once these numbers are all 0, you want to try to speed it up. And once you get to the point of speeding things up, there's another add-on that you can get called Global Cooldown Monitor, or simply GCD Monitor. If you look at it installed, that's what it's called in your add-ons list, is GCD Monitor. This lovely little add-on is simply a black box that will start being a white 1 second metronome for when you cast a skill. It turns white when you have the skill activation to show the global cooldown, and when it turns black again, the global cooldown has ended. You can cast again. But what really matters here is it briefly turns green. So that green is when to light attack before casting your skill. So if we just do this, and we only look at that box, we can get ourselves into a rhythm that allows us to cast a light attack before casting a skill. Even a skill of the channel time like this will work with that global cooldown monitor. It works with jabs for Templar. It actually works with the Magicka Templar Execute as well. That global cooldown actually slows down for Radiant Depression, which is a feature I only recently discovered exists. So if we look at the report of that just now, we'll see 27 skills, 27 light attacks, no misses, and only 2 seconds of wasted time. And before that, when we were going very slowly, that wasted time was 18%, or 18 seconds, excuse me. So what you're trying to do ultimately is have the wasted time between skill casts to be low, while also missing no light attacks, and that is the challenge of a DPS. The next challenge of a DPS is to learn how to do this in content. And that's all through practice. These numbers will be 0, while these numbers have numbers here. And this number will be low, but only through practice. Another add-on that can help you is the least important of the 3, I would imagine, is the light attack helper add-on. This simply tells you what your light attacks per second average is. In this case, through the demonstrations and the end of combat, 0.87, that number actually is going to be a little bit more variable in terms of the number that you have. If I move it up to here and I just start casting skills, you'll notice that number gets pretty high. And I should have actually put that somewhere else so you can see a little better. But you'll notice that number will drop down below that 1 mark eventually, and it'll start to settle down about where you're actually casting. So the more on the global cooldown you're casting, the closer to 1 that time is going to be. And the objective is to hit all of your light attacks and your skill casts while keeping that number high. And that's going to be more along the lines of the higher end process, where you are looking at your overtime performance on one of these trial dummies to help you have a better idea where you are overall. But I do hope this video has been helpful. It is a little bit detail oriented, so I do apologize for the length. Let me know if this helped you, and if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Have a great day.